Oregon, City of the Roses. It's the Western Conference Championship between the visiting 6-4 Vancouver Nighthawks and the 8-2 Western leading Portland Stags. I'm Brad Stein, joined alongside Chris Cannon.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having us down. We are excited to be here in this beautiful city of Portland.
Yeah, I'll take the checks later that you owe us. Beautiful day, 70 degrees, 12-mile-per-hour winds. What type of impact will the weather have on this game?
I don't think it's going to have any impact today. Vancouver struggled in the wind this season, particularly against San Francisco. But there's good wind breaks around here. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I don't think the wind or the weather's going to be any kind of an impact here today.
This match is for the Western Conference Championship, an opportunity to play for the MLU Championship. Both teams, first time in the playoffs, so they're both very excited. Vancouver, Chris, is sizzling hot, as you know, 4-game winning streak to close out the season. Portland, however, has won the series between the teams 2-1. What are your thoughts on the matchup, the head-to-head matchup on the regular season?
It has been a really interesting season. Last season, they ended number 3 and number 4 in the league, and it's reversed. Now it's Portland 1 and Vancouver 2 in the league. They have had a really interesting series. 3 games this season. Portland averaging 300 passes a game. Vancouver averaging 200 passes a game, which is a huge difference, a 33% difference. But Vancouver has nonetheless dominated offense in the league. I am now. Thank you.
Jeff Snyder here, Commissioner of Major League Ultimate. 15 years ago, I got out of the Marine Corps, played my first ever game of Ultimate Frisbee with my brother. And now, I find myself immersed in one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. And here, at beautiful PPL Park in Philadelphia, on July 19th at 6:30 p.m., the largest showcase of our sport will happen with the MLU Championship game. You can get all tickets and information at MLUchampionship.com to see the best in the world. I'll see you there. Jeff Snyder here, Commissioner of Major League Ultimate. 15 years ago, I got out of the Marine Corps, played my first ever game of Ultimate Frisbee with my brother. And now, I find myself immersed in one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. And here, at beautiful PPL Park in Philadelphia, on July 19th at 6:30 p.m., the largest showcase of our sport will happen with the MLU Championship game. You can get all tickets and information at MLUchampionship.com to see the best in the world. I'll see you there.
You do it.
Remember where we were. Okay, I'll do Vancouver first, then Portland.
Yeah.
Okay, but keys to the game, I'll do Vancouver, do Portland.
Thank you, Alicia. Keep it going for... Welcome back to Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, home of the Western Conference Championship between the visiting Vancouver Nighthawks and the 8-2 Portland Stags. I'm Brad Stein, joined alongside Chris Cannon. Chris, you're in Portland now for the first time. That means whether you like it or not, you are weird.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. You have to go to Voodoo Donuts. Have you tried that place yet?
Well, you know, we have our own donuts up there. We've got some fantastic 49th Parallel and Lucky's donuts up there.
We are up to 71 degrees now. How about that? 55% humidity, precipitation, 20%. Not too bad. Not going to affect this game. Like you said, in your opinion, it's not going to affect this game. But, Chris, I have to ask you, 2-1 Portland lead in this series. Vancouver, you had a rough time traveling. I heard you were stuck at the border for 2 hours, the Nighthawks. Who's going to win? I want a prediction.
Well, both teams in the Travels have had some bus breakdowns and delays this season, but both of them have bounced back from it. I think Portland has the edge here, mainly because of personnel. Vancouver is missing Kirk Savage, their veteran wily handler, their main handler. But they pass the disc around really well, and their cutters handle it a lot. So I think maybe Portland has an edge, but Vancouver certainly can pull it out.
Would you like to share the keys to the game for the Vancouver Nighthawks?
Yeah,
Take it away.
Vancouver's defense is massive. They're really good at converting for scores, and they're very disruptive. Particularly, we have Morgan Hibbert on the deep, and he is tied with 20 Ds, tied the MLU record with 20 Ds this year. And then handling the handlers, we have Peter Yu, who is a monster on D, very prescient. And then we have John Norris, Kevin Underhill, and Keen Knapp sitting in for Savage. So if they can handle without making the errors, the unforced errors that Vancouver made earlier in the season, but they're doing much better now, if those three can play error-free, then Vancouver has an excellent chance.
And what does Portland want to do?
Portland, well, it just depends on how they're able to handle Brendan Wong on the deep. I think that's going to be essential. And then their wild card Timmy Purston. He's played the first half of the season and scored a lot of points, and then he has been absent the last 4 games.
Did you want to ask me about Timmy Purston, the possibilities of him playing all game, the whole game, part of the game?
Well, that's what we're all curious about. What is Purston going to do?
I might have that information for you.
I'm
I
very
talked
curious.
to both Coral and Nat before the game, and their response was, your guess is as good as mine, Brad.
That's very helpful.
That's where, I was mystified. We're all going to be mystified. We'll see how much Timmy Purston, nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, without Purston, Bjorklund has really picked up the slack, and Friedman and Norden on as the handlers have really done well. So it's a matter of whether Friedman and Norden can control the disc, and whether Purston will get into the game, or if Bjorklund is going to keep doing his deep magic.
Opening poll just moments away. Lincoln High School, the Western Conference Championship. Before the season started, Chris, did you really think that Vancouver and Portland would be playing for the West?
Well, they certainly weren't predicted to. Vancouver was predicted 3rd in the league starting off, and Portland was predicted to be last in the league.
That's correct.
And last season they were 4-3-2-1, and this season it's 1-2-3-4. It's completely reversed. Dogfish on top last year, on the bottom this year, and Portland with a fantastic record this year. It's gonna be an incredible game.
That's the sign of a great sport, parity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, they've had 3 games this season, and each game has been decided by 2 or 3 points, and it's gone 2-1 to Portland, but total point difference in the games is 2 points. So it should be a tight game.
The Stags will receive the opening poll. Just on their way. City of Roses. Camden Alice Hall at the left sideline. He's going to flick that across field back to the center. That's Steve Kenton. He's going to be handling the disc quite a bit for the Portland Stags. And there's Timmy Purston. Your answer, you have it right there, right by the 50-yard line.
He is right
dropped.
Point.
A turnover, the first one of the game.
It looked unforced to me. It didn't look like a perfectly accurate throw. That is
Vancouver goes
quick
to the end zone, and there it is. First score of the game.
Takuya Saito for the Nighthawks, striking deep right off the bat on a turnover. That is some really quick turnaround there.
I like that. The announcer has it backwards, but it's okay.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. It's his first year, Takuya Saito from Japan.
Let's go to the instant replay on the first score of the game by Saito. And he spikes it. A little
He's
spike
excited.
action.
He is letting him know right off the bat that he is in this game.
He should be excited.
He is. He's one of the best players in Japan. He came from the Buzz Bullets and joined Vancouver. He's played with Furious Georgia a number of times, and he decided to move here and pick up with the Nighthawks, and he has been terrific with this team. He's gelling right in. Even though it's a very different system for him, he has really picked it up and gelled.
His nickname is Tack. So if you hear us call him Tack, you'll know that's Mr. Saito.
Yep.
And here comes Morgantron with the second pull of the game. Portland will receive.
Now watch, Morgan does his pulls with his right hand. I'll tell you more about that. But notice he's a lefty player, but he pulls right. And I'll explain that more in a minute. Let's see him play a little bit more.
That's Norden back to Bree Strout. Strout received the opening pull. Camden Allison Hall down the right sideline. And there's Purston getting plenty of playing time. Eli Freeman right at midfield.
And someone to watch on D here is number 24, right there on the mark, Peter Yu. He's always 2 steps ahead. He's a very, very smart defender. He's a great position player, really controls the handlers there. Really keeps them, keeps it short.
Camden Allison Hall with the disc. 23 points on the year, 4 Ds, 129 of 139 completion. Pretty good, solid rookie season for Camden Allison Hall. They got him from the University of Oregon, the Ducks. A lot of Ducks playing for the Portland team. It's kind of the minor league system. Portland, and they will play keep away. They will burn the clock. Timmy Person made a nice catch. Centers that. Ooh, dangerous, but Bjorklund's there for the Stags. Stags down by 1, just on their way. 8:20 left to go in the first. Brad and Chris bringing Major League Ultimate action, the Western Conference Championship. There's Cody Bjorklund, a few yards away at the right sideline. He's going to flick that in the end zone over the head of Norden. And Portland commits their second turnover. Let's see how Vancouver comes out of this. As you see, Morgan Hibbert is going downtown.
Well, you can see right there that the wind is not really going to be a factor today. They've already had some pretty blady blades.
Morgan Tron, one of the best defensive players in MLU, led Major League Ultimate with 20 Ds. Catching the ball. Oh, nice pass. As you see, Nate Danduran, a few yards away from their second score. They're going to lay it out, and another score for Vancouver. The Nighthawks capitalize on the Stags' turnover. They're 2 for 2, capitalizing on Portland turnovers. Makes it a 2-0 game, 7:36 left on the clock.
They have come out fast, the Nighthawks. Often they will, after a turnover, they'll sit back and set up their offense and walk it down. They use their lane cutters a lot, but you see already in this game that
here's the instant replay.
Very nice.
See if we can get another look of the instant replay.
You'll see in this game that the Nighthawks have this youthful energy. They're really taking advantage of those turnovers and zipping down the field.
This is a young Portland team, but Coral Knapp have them in a system where they never panic, no matter what the score is. But the 2 games that they lost, 1 to Vancouver, 1 to Seattle, both teams jumped out in front of them early and by quite a few points. That's the best way to get the Stags team down. Still, they've come back from several games, but that's your best opportunity. They've played almost flawless disc play this entire season. And here they come. That's Mark Burton, the former Rainmaker. Their flow, the Portland likes to keep a very steady flow. They like to get it in and out of Stags, different players' hands, and they do it very expeditiously.
They are a very patient offense. They like to work it back and forth between their handlers and then wait for that perfect strike.
And you saw Davis now center it to Mark Burton. You'll see a lot of that between Davis and Eli Freeman as Eli Freeman's coming back for the disc. Now they're going to go back to center. That's Steve Kenton and Supnick. Supnick's going to go in the air looking, and that's going to be intercepted, just knocked down. Another turnover by the Stags, and Vancouver back on the offensive.
That is the 3rd unforced error by the Stags. Let's hope they don't keep it up like that all night. They need to tighten up their O.
Vancouver going downfield, their first turnover of the game.
Another unforced error. That has really plagued Vancouver early in the season. Later in the season, they've picked it up. They've really gelled. But early in the season, that was the bane of their existence.
Stags possession, Eli Freeman handling the disc back to Kenton. You'll see a 2-man game quite often. That's Bjorklund at the right sideline. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lincoln High School, right across where the Portland Timbers play. Ooh, reach out in a layout in the end zone. Very dangerous. Eli Freeman's so good at making those plays. He's going to hook that one down the field. Could Topher Davis get it? Oh, he reaches. It looks like it bounced. And he did bounce. The referee both said hit the ground first. But Topher Davis with a diving layout effort.
That was a beautiful effort.
Let's go, White!
Another turnover by the Stags. Vancouver back on offense. That's Saito. Kicks that back. Again, you mentioned Savage, who won't be playing. First time out of the game called by Vancouver. We'll talk about that after the end of the break. The impact not having Kirk Savage for the Vancouver Nighthawks. 5 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first quarter. The score, Vancouver 2, Portland 0. We're going to go to instant replay on the last diving effort by Topher Davis. Let's see how close he really was. As you see Davis, just bounces. Topher Davis, you have to love the effort. Ulti Photos is the official photography partner of the Major League Ultimate. Ulti Photos features an elite core of ultimate photographers across the U.S. and Canada who are passionate about the sport of ultimate. They're available to cover your ultimate tournament and capture incredible photo memories for participants and fans. Check them out at www.ultiphotos.com and check out their complete MLU game coverage at mluimages.com.
That was a terrific layout by Topher Davis. If the disc were in front of him rather than off to the side a little bit where he had to angle his body, you have to believe that he would have gotten that.
Stags down 2-0. Vancouver capitalizing on 2 Stag turnovers. Vancouver back on the attack after the timeout into Portland territory. That's Aaron Loach, guy you're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. He was a body double of Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. Little tidbit for you. And you see Brendan Wong. Oh, reach out, broke out. Nice play defensively by the Stags.
Beautiful
to get
defense.
A D. Stags take over. Now they got to capitalize. Fans are into it. Largest crowd. Oh, a turnover by Portland. Back over to Vancouver. Teams exchanging turnovers. A little sloppy play we've seen.
That is some sloppy play early on. I've never seen so many unforced turnovers so early in the game, especially with no wind.
Do you think it's nerves?
There's just no telling. I think they're both so excited to be here, particularly ending up 3rd and 4th in the West last season. They're both very excited and hungry to make it to Nationals and win Nationals, too. It's not good enough for either team.
That one's up in the air and intercepted by Portland. That was coming from John Norris as he was intercepted. Good play by Portland. Supnick comes away with the disc, gets back to Topher Davis. You will see Topher Davis on both the offense and defensive line for the Portland Stags. Stags looking to cut this one. This one's deep. It's hovering in the air. Looks like it's going to go out of play. No, it's going to hang up there. And Peter Woodside makes the play, uses his length. They're going to go to the end zone. Oh, reach out. What a breakup. What a defensive play by the Nighthawks.
Wow, this is already a heck of a game.
Already have it. It doesn't matter the sloppy play or the score. You're going to have teams lay out for the disc. And we should have a lot of ESPN-worthy plays. That's what I'm predicting. And a call. Let's see who this goes against. Offensive foul. Disc goes back to the Stags. Down 2-0. Can cut this to a 1-point match. Supnick handling the disc. Topher Davis, guarded by Brendan Wong, as you see the offense and defensive line. Offensive line on defense for Vancouver, who's in red. Portland Stags in white. Their defensive line is out. And Topher Davis is going downtown in the end zone. They have a wide open. Oh, Rafi Hayes gets rejected. Another good D. We're going to see a lot of these breakups. Vancouver is making it very difficult for Portland to get into the end zone. Vancouver back on possession. That was Keen Knapp with the big D. Knapp is known for his give and goes. Very important player. 6 years experience. Just saved a goal. Portland's still scoreless as the Stags back on the offensive, trying to get down the field, working around the 45-yard line. That's Wong. Getting it to Matthew Bearzan. Hear his name quite often. And LeDuc is going to the left corner. Layout catch and another score for the Nighthawks. There's Berzan.
That is a beautiful backhand by LeDuc. A nice floaty, a little bit of an air bounce. You can already see the difference in style between these two teams. They are prepared for each other. You can see that Vancouver really likes to pressure Portland's handlers and keep them moving it horizontally rather than up and down the field. Keep it away from the cutters, keep it in possession of the handlers, make them throw a lot more. Like I said earlier, between these two teams this season, these two teams.
We're going to go to instant replay on the last catch by Matthew Berzan. Right in the left corner, there he is, right by his ankles. Wonderful pass. The Stags will receive the pull, down 3-0, 1:43 left in the first quarter. Still plenty of time. Can't panic. Portland's been in this position before. In fact, they were in this position the first match that they won in Vancouver.
They were. Vancouver came out early on that, and the Stags had no problem catching up in the second quarter and matching them and then eventually winning that game.
Of course, this becomes a very imperative point for Portland. You do not want to be down by 4 or more to this Vancouver team with the possibilities and capabilities they have defensively with you and Morgatron.
So the Stags are walking up to half field. That means that Vancouver was offsides on the pull. By MLU rule, they get to walk it up to half. And that is Peter Yu. You can see him trying to predict where the disc is going to go when he's on D.
Norton's looking for Allison Hall. That's going to be incomplete. Another turnover goes back to Vancouver.
Another unforced throw. Another unforced error by Portland. That's going to be a big difference in this game is who makes more unforced errors. It's interesting. There's usually two teams that play pretty tight.
Vancouver looking to go up 4-0. And a little huck over there by Morgatron. It is complete. Now looking for his man. He was looking for Doyle. Going to kick that back to Galitz.
Ooh.
And, ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Good defensive play by Portland. And here come the Stags. They might have avoided a crucial blow. This one's hanging in the air. Morgatron's back. Allison Hall gets bumped. That one is knocked. I don't know if we're going to have a call. We are going to have a call, and I believe it's going to be on Morgatron. What'd you see on that play?
I'm not sure what happened there. Morgatron looks like Morgan just tripped. I didn't really see him affecting another player, but that's up to the refs. They are calling a foul on the Stags.
I wonder if that's going to go on Camden Allison Hall if he blocked Morgatron. He was.
Now, number 6, Andre Galitz on the Nighthawks. He was wanting a foul before that on the turnover. It looked like he seemed to think he got stripped when he was throwing the disc. He called, but did not get the call.
No, now the referees are huddling up, trying to collaborate and get the correct call on the field. The score is 3-0 Vancouver on top. We are at Lincoln High School Field, the Western Conference Championship. Winner will represent the West and go compete against either Washington, D.C. or Boston in the MLU Championship game. Like you mentioned, it was the number 3 and 4 teams at the bottom, the cellar, the basement of the West last year, and this year, first and second.
Mm-hmm. Last year, Vancouver ended up 3-7, and the Stags are what, 1-9 last year?
1-9 last year.
Incredible turnaround. 8-2 this year. And from the Vancouver side, each of those games, they have 5 of their 7 losses were decided by 2 points or less, so it could have gone either way. And one of the problems they had was closing out games last year. Something they've really stepped up this year. They're doing much better about closing out games.
Vancouver back on the attack, starting at the 10-yard line.
Looked like the Stags started with a little bit of a junk D there and moved to man.
They're going downtown, Vancouver. That is broken up. Good defensive play. Timmy Purston was back there on the defensive line, and now that one's intercepted. And here come Vancouver. That one's picked off by Purston. Back-to-back turnovers, interceptions. And that one's picked off by Vancouver. What a point and what a play.
Oh, my goodness.
The Nighthawks. And they're saying it is a goal. How about that for some MLU action? You can't beat that. Alan Cowan is the recipient of the score. And now are they going to say no score? One referee signaled score. Now we're going to have no score. All I can tell you is that was ESPN worthy.
Well, they're coming off the field, so if it's not a score, is this a timeout?
We'll wait. I haven't heard anything from the stadium announcer.
Possibly the clock expired. It's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. That is the official. There you go.
Still an incredible point.
Yes, we can't see the clock from our position, but that is the end of the first quarter. The Stags trail 3-0. You are listening to the MLU Broadcasting Network.
Jeff Snyder here, Commissioner of Major League Ultimate. 15 years ago, I got out of the Marine Corps, played my first ever game of Ultimate Frisbee with my brother. And now, I find myself immersed in one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. And here, at beautiful PPL Park in Philadelphia, on July 19th at 6:30 p.m., the largest showcase of our sport will happen with the MLU Championship game. You can get all tickets and information at MLUchampionship.com to see the best in the world. I'll see you there.
I don't remember.
All right, we'll try to. I just want to try to keep that.
Do you have a stats person?
Nope.
Oh.
I have to do everything by myself.
Okay. If you have access to the Twitter feed, I assume your Twitter guys are doing it. Roger that.
Welcome back to Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, where the Portland Stags trail 3-0 to the Vancouver Nighthawks. The winner will represent the MLU Western Conference in the championship game. All the marbles we're playing for. Brad Stein and Chris Cannon bringing you Major League Ultimate action. Vancouver's going to receive the opening second quarter pull. A short bouncer, and that is going to be rolling around the 20-yard line. Here comes Vancouver. That's Matthew Berzan at the right sideline. Scored the last goal for the Nighthawks. And that had to be one of the keys of the game coming in for Vancouver. It wasn't talked about much on our broadcast, but jumping ahead of the Portland Stags.
Yeah, getting that early lead certainly helps, both in terms of obviously getting the early scores, but just building confidence for the team. Both these teams are nervous. They're excited to be here, and you can tell from some of the sloppy play early on.
Wong is going in zone. Has an open man and got it. It looks like Tejpar. And that's going to be the fourth goal for Vancouver. Rumi Tejpar, I believe, is the recipient.
That is Gagan Chatha, number 10.
Oh, make that Gagan Chatha.
This is a surprising lead, Vancouver coming out 4-0.
Let's go to instant replay on Gagan Chatha's score.
I don't know how he got so open there. But this speaks to the style of play that Vancouver does. They work with their cutters a lot. They move it vertically up 10, 15 yards at a time, and then when they get the open deep, they'll hit it. But they're not throwing away the hucks. Portland is much more of a hucking team this season, working it with their handlers and then waiting for that huck opportunity, whereas Vancouver uses their cutters a lot more for the short gains and then the huck when it's there.
Morgan Hibbert with the pull. One of the better in MLU with the pull, and that was a deep one right by the goal line. Here's Eli Friedman. It's been silent the last few games Cody Bjorklund's going to hammer across the field, and that is complete. How difficult is the hammer to catch, rather to throw?
It's not bad in a no-win situation. You got a good spin. If it's flat, not too blady, that's not too bad. If it settles down in front of you, it's a little harder when it's blady and coming at you vertically. But there's not really any wind here today with this. You can see the trees and the buildings. It's really good wind blocks with like 12-mile-per-hour wind. It's really not affecting the play at all.
Stags working the disc in and out of Vancouver territory. But again, this is patient, smart frisbee. That's what Coral and Knapp call it. Cody Bjorklund, left sideline. He was looking to go deep. Bree Strout thought about it, but he was defended well. Great defense displayed by Vancouver. This has to be the best I've ever seen the Nighthawks. What do you think?
This is some terrific defense, and you can see their defensive style. They're targeting Portland. They know Portland likes to move it amongst their handlers, so they are just making them move it over and over.
Allison Hall, right sideline, end zone. Got it. The first score for the Stags.
Wide open.
Good look by Bree Strout.
Looks like that was a missed D opportunity there. Maybe some miscommunication between the Nighthawks.
The first mistake, the first error committed by the Vancouver defense. The Stags capitalize. 4-1.
Vancouver doesn't make a lot of defensive mistakes. They're very good at getting the D and then converting that for a score. And that's one of the reasons that even though they've had more turnovers this season in the West.
Instant replay. We're going to take a look. Here's Camden Allison Hall. Easy. Bree Strout, nice look.
So even though Vancouver's had more turnovers, they have converted to outmatch their opponents by 2 points per game. They have the highest score percentage of the season in the West.
That's a 24th point for Camden Allison Hall, the rookie from the University of Oregon. Another short pull by Portland. Vancouver's going to take it right by the 30-yard line. That's John Norris, who will be handling most of the discs for the Nighthawks. Back to Chaffa. Center it. Backhand. Ooh, error throw. Intercepted by Dan Supnick, number 88. The Stags can trim this to a 2-point match. Stags are going downtown, wasting no time. In the end zone, all alone, Topher Davis.
That is some terrific conversion for the Stags. They were, when they got the turnover, they went back, and then shot it down the field.
Back-to-back points for the Portland Stags. Cut this to a 2-point match. 7:48 left in the first half. Brad and Chris bringing you Major League Ultimate action. We're going to go to our instant replay and take a look at Topher Davis in the end zone, wide open. Hit him right in the chest. Can't ask for anything more. How much is this game predicated on rhythm?
Well, again, there's different styles between the offense of the Stags and the offense of the Nighthawks. The Stags have a terrific rhythm in their handling where they will look upfield for the huck and then quickly put it back to another handler, look upfield, put it back to another handler, back and forth, looking for that perfect huck. They're a terrific rhythm team.
The Nighthawks received their second pull. Wong with the disc at the 40-yard line. Defended by number 22. That's Grant Cole. And give and go.
You see Vancouver flies by the seat of their pants a little bit more.
Floating in the air. Topher Davis on the rebound. Intercepts that from Aaron Loach. And the Stags can cut this to a 1-point game. Amazing as it sounds, being down 4-0. And they're going downtown. Riley Miner-Shagan. He got it by his knees, just shy of the goal line. And he's looking for his friend. And the Stags score. Eli Blackman.
That is a quick comeback by the Stags. These aren't long points. These are 20, 30, 40-second points. 3 unanswered points by Portland. It's going to put Vancouver on their heels. Let's see if they can bring it back.
That's how Portland strikes. You make a turnover, you get sloppy. They look for the hook. They go downfield, but they can also be patient. It's a very deadly offense when it's in rhythm. That's why I asked you that question earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vancouver isn't as much a rhythm team as Portland. Portland has that disciplined look for the huck, dump, look for the huck, dump, look for this huck swing.
Instant replay on the hook. Watch The flick. Riley Minershagen, a wonderful catch. Patient, finds his man, Eli Blackman, in the end zone.
First few points of this game, Vancouver's really good about covering that deep and keeping them contained. But it looks like the last few points, they've just kind of let them go. I don't know if that's miscommunication or if the Stags have just found a way to sneak behind the defense.
Vancouver receives a pull. 7:08 left on the clock. Hibbert, a low one, another turnover. And I've noticed this several games, Vancouver, when they start turning it over, they get in rhythm where they can commit 3-4 turnovers in a row. And there's a hammer in the end zone, and Peter Woodside scores again. We are even up at 4.
What an amazing comeback by the Stags. Quick strikes.
Woodside, he scored a couple goals last week against Seattle in the finale. And here's Peter Woodside again. Portland has had several key players step up for them in the absence of number 13, Timmy Purston.
They really have. And now having Purston back, that's just an extra wild card that Vancouver has to look at.
We're going to go back to instant replay and take a look at Peter Woodside's score on the hammer. Ben McGinn throws the hammer. Just well placed disc by Ben McGinn.
And again, Vancouver finding themselves out of position deep. They're getting in front of their deep guys. They're getting in front of the Stags' deep guys. They're not getting behind them and playing position.
One of the main reasons we're able to bring you this game live is our partner, Elemental Technologies. Elemental is the leading supplier of video solutions for multi-screen content delivery, providing unmatched solutions for more than 250 leading media franchises worldwide. Elemental helps pay TV operators, content programmers, film studios, and sports broadcasters bring video to any screen, anytime, all at once. To learn more, please visit www.elementaltechnologies.com and follow @ElementalTech on Twitter. 4-4, that's the score in the Western Championship at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, City of the Roses.
Why is it called that, City of the Roses? I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. We keep our people weird, and we keep our ultimate weird.
Now this is where you're going to see what Vancouver is made of. This is a real confidence shaker. When you're up 4-0 and then give back 4 unanswered points within a matter of minutes, we'll see what Vancouver's made of here.
I agree with that. Vancouver, a short pull, Hoving, received around the 16-yard line. The Nighthawks take over on the offensive. Oh, a diving effort defensively, but Bearzan makes the play. Another error throw that was intended for Brendan Wong. He cut the other way, and the disc wound up at the 32-yard line. Portland takes over on the turnover. The Stags can take their first lead of the game. And we have a timeout called by Portland. Coral Knapp saw it. They don't want to rush it. And that's where we're going to say it is 4-4, even up. A wonderful, tantalizing matchup. 6:18 left in the first half. Thoughts?
I'm surprised by that timeout, actually. Portland has Vancouver on their heels, and they just got that throwaway. They had control of the disc. They had an open swing there. I'm surprised by that timeout.
Friction Gloves is the official glove provider to the MLU. These all-weather gloves are specially designed for ultimate players, combining the tackiness of receiver gloves with a rubberized grip for better catches and throws. Look for the Friction Gloves Catch of the Week throughout the season and get an official MLU pair for yourself soon from the MLU shop. Visit frictiongloves.com to learn more. The fans are into the game. Not a huge turnout, but it's, I always say, quality over quantity.
Now watch this mark here. This is Peter Yu. He's a rookie with the Vancouver Nighthawks. And next to Morgan, I believe he has the highest number of Ds on the team. He is always laying out. He's always a step ahead of the defender. Watch his mark, and after the throw, watch how he stays on his man. He's always trying to stay one step ahead. Very, very smart.
Oh. And that timeout might have cost Portland Stags. Camden Alcindor can't come down with it. Turnover, disc back over to Vancouver. Funny you mentioned Peter Yu. He's a very intelligent man. He loves two things, Pokemon and Kobe Bryant.
He does love Pokemon, and I tease him about that because Morgan and I are Star Trek people. So we've got some Pokemon guys on the team, and we have some battles.
Very interesting.
Peter and I coach together Hamber High School in Vancouver, and he's a terrific coach as well. His kids love him. He's a very smart player, and he's a rookie. He's still a college player, plays for UBC, and you're going to be seeing a lot of him over the next decade.
Morgantron on the offensive line gets that out to number 7. That's Nate Danduran. Vancouver's just working the disc. They want to be patient, but very careful and precise with their throws. Very fluid. Back to Morgantron. Morgantron lays that out. Nice play. A quick score. Outstanding throw. Good read. Vancouver back on top, 5-4. That was set up by number 81, Romy Tejpar.
You might have noticed that Morgan threw that left-handed. You'll see him throw some backhands right-handed. You'll see him do his pulls right-handed, and he does full field pulls. He does almost all the pulls for Vancouver, but he is generally a lefty player, and it's really interesting because he's naturally right-handed, but he shattered his wrist in 2010, and he had his an implant permanently fused, so he had to switch to left-handed. He plays left-handed, but he's a natural righty. He had to relearn how to throw.
Very interesting. Let's go to a replay on the throw from Tejpar. Watch how quick he gets rid of this. Just smart. Just flips it out.
That was a shaky throw, too.
He got out quick before Bjorklund can get over there.
He did.
5-4 Nighthawks.
That was a wobbler, though. A little bit of luck in that catch there. You can see from an expression on the face of the receiver.
Under 6 minutes to go in the first half.
That's going to be huge for Vancouver's confidence, too, not losing the lead.
With that being said,
Morgan is also missing an ACL. Lost his ACL in 2002, never had surgery, so he plays without ACL. He had to switch from right-handed to left-handed. His right wrist is permanently fused with a rod in there.
Wow.
So he can pull with it, and he'll occasionally throw a backhand with it, but usually he plays lefty.
The one thing Hibbert does have is heart, and he is all heart.
He
Watching
is all
him
heart.
for a couple seasons, that man can play some ultimate.
He can. He's nicest guy ever, too. He does a lot of our interviews with the media because he just has a wonderful, sparkly personality, and he truly loves this game, and he loves the MLU and the Nighthawks, loves his teammates. Terrific guy.
Is that The Price is Right?
That is The Price is Right. What are they doing down there?
I don't know, but that brings back some memories. Remember Klinko or Palinko? Was it Klinko?
Yeah.
Game? Oh.
Not exactly a game of skill.
Plunko.
Not a game of skill.
A game of skill. Oh, you just drop it. You hope it goes. I think it was $10,000. I like the reward at the end.
I'm embarrassed that I know that.
I'm embarrassed too. But I used to be sick quite often from school, and there was nothing else to watch unless Sports Center, and I did that also quite often.
get up and dance for your stag. I know we got some dancers out there.
The official disc of the MLU is the Innova Pulsar. Designed in cooperation with players and staff of the MLU, the new Pulsar is the perfect disc for the pro game. Get your Pulsar today at shop.mlultimate.com or visit innovadiscs.com for a look at the rest of their product line, including world-class disc golf gear. I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy. I'm feeling happy.
All right. Chris Cannon is happy. That means I'm happy because the game is absolutely scintillating. 5-4, Vancouver on top of the Portland Stags. Lincoln High School. We're just across the street from where the Portland Timbers play. Major League Soccer.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they draw pretty well.
We have that. We have the Whitecaps in Vancouver. It's hard to get seats there. 30,000 sold out all the time. Terrific team.
We have better fans over here, though. Stags receive the pull. could tie this up. That would be the second tie of the game. The way we got here, 4 points to start the game by the Vancouver Nighthawks. And the Portland Stags answered back with 4 of their own. Oh, layout, and it's incomplete.
Look
a
at
vital
Peter
turnover.
Yu not wasting any time. He immediately gets right downfield after the throw.
Hibbert just dumps that off to number 31. That's Saito. Another Vancouver scorer. They're up by 2.
You know, I have to say early in the season, losing those 4 points in a row, that might have put Vancouver more on their heels. They might not have responded as well, but they have really gelled over the season. They've got some rookies this year that have gelled with the team. That's why they've had a 4-game winning streak without Kirk Savage over the last 4 games. They're really feeling on top of their game. They're really playing well together, and their confidence is really showing here, being able to come back from that 4 unanswered points.
We're going to go to our instant replay.
Ooh. Now watch Peter Yu streak across the field here.
Good eyes by Hibbert. And there's Saito.
That was really good play by the Stags, who was on the mark there. He dropped off and picked up a wide open Peter. That's very smart defense, instead of staying with the mark and leaving the receiver open.
Pole goes out of bounds by Morgan Hibbert. The Stags will take over right at the 30-yard line. Good field position. They have plenty of time, under 5 minutes, 4:58 to be exact.
We're about halfway through the second quarter.
Supnick to King. To Cody Bjorklund. They're working quickly, always looking down the field. That was Mark Burton breaking, but Morgan Hibbert was right there. Great defense, hard to get open deep. But the Stags are very patient, and they will find their moments.
They are. Again, you can see how they, very
Contact.
nice grab there.
We'll have an infraction on Morgan Hibbert, number 8.
Yeah, that's a contact
Vancouver.
foul, 10-yard penalty. But you can see how Portland is really smart with the disc. They look upfield, they'll turn, reset to their handlers, look upfield, turn, reset to the handlers.
Bjorklund breaking. Thought about it going back to Hancock. Hanky, they call him. Having a good season. Chris Hancock missed a couple games. He's 82 of 82 on his throws.
Wow.
That's what you like to see, 100%. King backhanded it back to King.
It's nice give and go there.
King is going end zone, and there's Supnick back there, but just a little bit too much power in that throw. Another turnover, and we go back to the Nighthawks.
I'm surprised by the number of unforced errors in this game, but at the same time, it's making for some excitement because they're really taking some chances on both sides of the field.
That was Adrian King with that throw. He's usually pretty accurate. He's 142 of 153. 7 points. He's played quite a bit the last several games for Portland. Solid contributor.
A nice little IO reset. That was threading a needle there. Vancouver doesn't reset as much as Portland. They'll do a quick reset, but quickly get it back to their cutters. Right there, their lane cutters get it a lot.
Hibbert playing offense and defense. At midfield, knocked away by Portland. No contact. Is there? Yeah, there is contact. I believe they're going to call that in Hanky, number 9, Chris Hancock. Good idea, good thought.
That's interesting. If there's a contact, there's no. They generally will get 10 yards. I wonder what the call is there.
Maybe he invaded his space just a little bit too much. Knocked. It's tough to say, but nonetheless, at the 50-yard line, that's where Vancouver remains with the disc. Back to Hibbert, backhand. Working the disc up the field, in the end zone. That's broken up and intercepted. Topher Davis. Nice play. Back to Cody Bjorklund, who was on the defensive line. Supnick gets that to the right sideline. Vancouver, or Portland rather, is going to really use the field. You'll see them go right, left, center, really space the field. Davis, Burton all alone down the right sideline at the 20-yard line. Portland's in great position. Hancock is breaking, he's covered. Good defense. And Hibbert cannot get to Bjorklund, and Bjorklund scores. Stags cut the deficit to 1. 6-5.
That's not typical of Morgan. He doesn't make that many mistakes, but he's had a couple of throwaways this game and seems to have got the D's gotten behind him a bit. Let's see if he pulls it together.
I think somebody wants a pizza. What do you think?
I think I'd like
Chris?
a pizza.
That sounds good. Bring it to the announcers.
Anyone within the range of my voice.
Instant replay. We're going to take a look. Mark Burton hits Cody Bjorklund in the right corner of the end zone. Good job by Bjorklund to keep his feet in bounds.
That's a very smart reception. Bjorklund knew that he's going to have to reach out a little bit for that, and that's a nice OI forehand, just wrapping it right around the D.
Fans coming to life on the pull. Vancouver receives it at the 10-yard line. That's where they'll start the assault.
Portland down by 1. Nighthawks possession.
And we have a call.
Didn't look like contact. I wonder if that's a travel call.
No, we're going to move the disc back, but I believe it's still Vancouver possession.
It's a lucky break for Vancouver. Travel is a turnover, and they're near their own end zone. That's not what they want here.
Chatha right around the middle of the field. See John Thornton's in there defensively. Good defense. And John Norris handling the disc. Norris goes deep, and it's caught by Chatha. Right at the 10-yard line. Chatha's wide open. And Wong scores again for Vancouver. The Nighthawks back up by 2.
Very nice play between two rookies there. Gagandeep Chatha could have put a little backhand over the top there, but that's a risky play. He took a second, waited, set himself, and put a nice little forehand out there for Wong. Wong, again, the MLU leader and in goals and points. Not just this season, but for the entire 2-year lifespan of the MLU. He is a rookie to be reckoned with.
16 years experience for Brendan Wong. There's the great leap by Chatha. Wide open Wong, a little flick, center of the end zone.
Good vision by Chatha. You could tell he was looking for that wraparound backhand, but didn't see it there and quickly moved to that forehand OI.
64 points in the regular season, Brendan Wong.
Incredible. Rookie, too. College player.
Morgantron with the pull. Portland will receive. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Plenty of time for Portland as we've seen them score in 20 and 30 seconds.
Another thing about Portland is they can close out games, so by no means with a 3, 4, 5-point advantage will you think the Stags will be out of this. They can come back. They can punish you quick.
The disc is in good hands with Norden and Friedman.
Norden and Friedman have such fluid give and goes.
There it is again.
No matter how well you defend them, they will squeak it in there.
50 seconds. Stags trail by 2. Like they're always thinking, always looking downfield. It's just been a better defense has beaten the offense in the first half. That's the narrative so far. That's Kenton at the center of the field. 30 seconds. Norden looking down the field. You see Bjorklund in the middle of the field again. Outstanding defense. Allison Hall, we're at 24 seconds.
Norden is getting a lot of disc there, and Peter Yu is right on him, but just unable to get in there.
That's Steve Kenton, defended by Peter Yu. Yu is fast.
He is fast.
He's little, but he covers a lot of ground.
He is.
Yeah, Kenton was open on Yu. There's Bjorklund. He's got to throw it up. We're going to have a contact call. The clock will stop. I believe it'll be moved back to 7 seconds as soon. That's where the clock needs to be reset at 7 seconds. It says 5. They're going to keep it at 5.
I'm predicting a hammer here. Either
tickets and information at MOUchampionship.com to see the best in the world. I'll see you there. Jeff Snyder here, Commissioner of Major League Ultimate. 15 years ago, I got out of the Marine Corps, played my first ever game of Ultimate Frisbee with my brother. And now, I find myself immersed in one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. And here, at beautiful PPL Park in Philadelphia, on July 19th at 6:30 p.m., the largest showcase of our sport will happen with the MOU Championship game. You can get all tickets and information at MOUchampionship.com to see the best in the world. I'll see you there.
Welcome back to Lincoln High School, Portland, Oregon, home of the Western Conference Championship game. The Vancouver Nighthawks are out in front of the Portland Stags 7-6. I'm Brad Stein, joined alongside Chris Cannon all the way from Canada. Oh, Canada. Beautiful weather, 70 degrees, 12-mile-per-hour winds, not affecting the game. We've seen a lot of turnovers, especially by Portland early on. And we saw some on Vancouver's part, and both teams were able to capitalize on the turnovers and score.
They have. It has been an amazing first half. You don't usually see this many unforced errors. You can tell both teams are very excited. Made some mistakes early, but they've picked it up. And the second half, I think, is going to belong to whoever can solve that problem of unforced errors.
How much do you think the Vancouver Nighthawks missed Mr. Savage?
Well, you always miss your main player, one of your main players. He touched the disc, I believe, more than any of the other players. But the other handlers have really picked it up. John Norris, Kevin Underhill, and Keen Knapp have really filled in for him in their four-game win streak without Kirk Savage. So it speaks to the depth of this team. It's a much deeper team than last year. It's a younger team, and they're in this finals for a reason.
Portland has done what they've done pretty much throughout the season, their 8-2 record. They have not one player has 2 goals. Hall scored, Davis, Blackman, Woodside, Bjorklund, Strout. They're so even. And here's some highlights. We're going to take a look at the first half.
That highlight there was not a score. The first quarter ran out in the middle of that after several turnovers in a row.
Yeah, we were all confused, everyone in the stadium.
That was a terrific play, though. That was very exciting.
That was Calvin.
Look at that D. Beautiful D.
Oh, this is the exchange
and another
of
beautiful D right back from you. Not quick enough to beat the clock, though.
No, that was it. That was the Purston. I'll take it, but I'll give it back. As you see Chatha go up high, all alone in the end zone. Gagan Chatha.
You see a lot of these plays in the first half a lot of the scores have been simply the D sneaking behind that, or the offense sneaking behind that deep player right there. Chatha getting open, unaccounted for.
Riley Minor-Shea getting a few steps behind him. And we'll see Portland score. And this is right in the right corner. Camden Allison Hall, the rookie, got beyond.
Right there. I think that
Matthew
was some blown
Doyle.
coverage there.
Yeah, that was Matthew Doyle.
Yeah, Vancouver double teamed on that with Morgan and Doyle, but neither of them picked him up. He out with a beautiful, that is a beautiful outside-in flick.
Yep.
Floating around the D, right into the hands of the receiver.
Camden
That's where you want it.
He has just been one of the pleasant surprises for Portland. They got him as a rookie. They didn't know what to expect from this kid. He's brought great athleticism to the team. Really made a difference, especially the last several games. He's been scoring multiple games.
I think we got some real Stags fans here, Ted.
And you see Topher Davis all alone.
We do. Loach on the coverage there.
And once again, that's Riley Miner-Shagan, makes
Wide
the great
open.
play, waits for a friend, and got his buddy. That's Eli Blackman. And Supnick fakes it, finally throws the flick downtown. There it is, Miner-Shagan to get a double replay of that, makes the catch right by his knees, and flips it for Blackman.
I think the second half is going to belong to whichever team can control the deep.
We talked about the impact of Timmy Person if he would play. He has played, he started, and not much. He made a few plays defensively, but he also gave it away.
He
No
has. Star
points.
players will do that. Morgan Hibbert's thrown a few away, too. Your star players are human as well. Person's fantastic, but, the Stags obviously can win without him.
Love the red hair.
Yeah.
I don't think it's natural.
That's funny, Hibbert. I think he is in addition to being one of the key players and one of the best in the MLU, he is also one of the best fans.
I think
he's
he
a
would
big
fit
fan
in
of his
well
own
here.
team.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I think he would be a perfect candidate for a Portland citizen.
That's not going to happen. You can't have him. You can beg all you want. You can't have him.
And Saito scores. And Bjorklund, tippy toe.
Very
Bjorklund's
smart
so good at
reception
that.
there. Very smart.
He plays the sidelines better than most MLU players. You'll see that quite often if you follow the Portland Stags.
Well, you can tell from his body position, he's asking for that throw from Burton. Burton, just put it right outside here. I'll keep it in.
Great positioning. And Timmy couldn't get that one. That's intercepted by Chaffa.
And again, Chatha with a really smart play there, not throwing that iffy backhand. He looks for that low release backhand there to his receiver.
Yep.
Pulls it back. Puts it right around the defender.
Eli Blackman can't get it. Wong is there. The leader in MLU in points. There's Chaffa, sky high.
Chatha, another rookie. Brendan Wong, Peter Yu, and Gagandeep Chatha, three terrific rookies for the Nighthawks this season.
And the Stags have Topher Davis, Camden Allison Hall. Those guys, I think the rookies are what made the difference for both teams. That's why they're here.
Absolutely.
Adam Furia also, he's out this game. He got injured last week, but he is a pretty big contributor for Portland. 7 Ds on the season, 10 points. He had 3 points last game before he was injured against Seattle. And that was by far his best game. Woodside is also a rookie. Another guy, 8 Ds, scored today. Scored last week against Seattle.
It is a shame. You want to see all your players play in the finals. You want to see all of them to have that joy. But I hope they're watching at home, maybe in the stands, enjoying the game, still being part of the team.
How long did you play for?
I played close to 20 years in the U.S., Australia, and Canada. A lot of Nats and Worlds and a lot of different systems, so I really enjoyed it.
When you played, did you ever take a hiatus, let's say a couple months off?
Well, since I moved from country to country, I had to earn my wings in each place with each team.
How challenging was it to pick up a disc after taking a few months off?
Well, I've had some injuries as well, so I had to play lefty for a while, and it is challenging. You learn different things about the game when you do that. So, and you learn a lot about yourself. So sometimes it's a confidence killer, and you have some lows. But if you love the game, you'll come back to it.
The reason why I ask is Timmy Purston. He just seems a little rusty.
Well, he's been in Ireland for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
He was a superstar for the Stags
11
this year.
points last year.
The first few games against Vancouver, the first game against Vancouver, I believe he had something like 11 points. It was ridiculous. Yeah. He was savaging the Nighthawks deep, just sneaking back there and getting those position catches, getting those skies. But work has taken him away from the Stags, and I believe the last 6 weeks or so he's been in Ireland. I don't know what he's been doing there. I don't know if he's been just eating fried chicken or if he's been working out, but he is back.
Let's see if he gets his legs underneath him.
Well, you can see he's on the field
half.
again.
He is.
See if he'll be a difference maker in this second half.
We are ready for second half action at Lincoln High School, just across the street from where The Portland Timbers play in Major League Soccer, and the Thorns.
I have to say, you see Person out there on the field, but I have to say the Stags have done a terrific job without him the last 4 weeks. They have a very deep roster. They have a terrific handler set. They've got some great deeps.
Want to know what Ultimate players do when they're not on the field? They play spike ball. It's a little bit of volleyball, a little bit foursquare, and a whole lot of awesomeness. Get $10 off normal retail online using promo code MLUROCKS1 at spikeball.com. Are you ready, Chris Cannon?
I'm ready. I'm excited for the second half. Either team, whichever team wins, this is a terrific game.
Were you named after Cannon Beach?
That's
in Oregon.
I don't even know where that is.
It's right here in Oregon, the coast. Portland will receive, and that's Morgan Hibbert doing the honors like he does all season long. A lot of power in that man. A lot of length, a lot of size. And Stags wide open, Mark Burton, and he could go downfield for the hook.
Wow.
Stags are going in zone, up in the air, and it looks like Timmy Purston has his first goal. Welcome back, Timmy Purston. He looks happy. That's in Irish. I got to salute myself. I just scored a goal.
He's excited. He spent the last 6 weeks learning jigs, I guess, touchdown jigs. I don't know how they got so open on that. A wide open lane cutter and then a wide open Purston in the end zone. I don't know if that was blown coverage by the Nighthawks. I don't know what happened there.
Holy bloody moly. I just scored and tied the game.
And it's tie, the second tie of the game. It was tied 4-4. Vancouver came out on top 4-0. Portland answered right back in short time with 4-4. Vancouver's held the lead since, but Portland's brought it back, and it's a 7-7 game at the beginning of the third.
Only 11 seconds have expired. We are in for some second half. The Stags will throw the pull. Vancouver will receive. Of course, the Nighthawks are in red. The Stags are in white.
I don't know what happened with that reception. Greer was poaching a little bit on the inside and got out of position.
I think that's going to wake up Timmy Purston. That's what he needed. John Norris with the disc. He's defended by Benjamin McGinn.
Oh, another tight throw to the cutters. Vancouver has been throwing some really tight ones to the cutting lane.
Intercepted. Poor throw. Intended was Wong. Intercepted by Topher Davis. Portland really, I was going to say, on this possession, amplified their defense. The pressure was there. They look way more into this game. They look way more loose in the second half. First half, they were tight.
We're looking for the first lead of the night for the
And the Stags can take the lead for the first time tonight. They're going down the field in the end zone, and it's caught. Peter Woodside with the second goal of the season. The Stags do it.
That is some nice give and go from the handlers. Portland, Vancouver pushing them back, pushing them horizontally, pushing them back, pushing them horizontally, and then they find that open deep. They put it down to that striker, and Vancouver is letting up on that deep coverage. That's going to make a big difference in the second half.
The Stags have scored 2 goals unanswered in 51 seconds of the third quarter. Chris, wow, the first lead of the game, Portland Stags. Here's the instant replay. Peter Woodside, wide open, right in the breadbasket, and he throws it right through the goalpost.
It's another Nighthawks deep out of position. All you have to do is put it on the other side of the receiver, and the defense just does not have a chance to get in there.
Another word from our sponsor, the Hucket Bucket. The Hucket Bucket solves the problem every Ultimate player runs into: where to sit, where to put your stuff, and how to keep it dry. Fumbling through bags and sitting on wet grass are issues of the past with Hucket, the Ultimate Weekend.
That's Key Knapp, received the pull for Vancouver. John Norris, a little give and go with Brendan Wong. Norris goes deep into Portland territory, complete to Chatha. Chatha looked flick. Now he's going to reset, pivots, defense. Good press by Portland.
Portland.
Galitz, wide open. Chatha right by the end zone, left corner. He's about a yard away, looking for an open man. Found Brendan Wong, and Vancouver answers back quickly. 8:38 left in the third quarter, and the Stags and the Vancouver Nighthawks are tied back up at 8.
Terrific point there. Portland seems to be giving Vancouver the ends. They're letting them have the shorts.
I know it's early, but that is pretty vital for Vancouver not to let this crowd get into it and let Portland start gaining the confidence because they can really pour it on offensively.
And another smart end zone play there by Gagandeep Chatha. You saw him earlier look off that difficult backhand and throw that quick little flick, and he just did it again. Smart goal line play by Chatha brings it even.
Hibbert with the pull. Stags back on the attack. Jeremy Norden handling the disc. Guarded by Peter Yu. Uses all over the place. Look at Yu. Covers a lot of ground for a small guy. Eli Freeman, Camden Allison Hall. Good. I like the flow for Portland to start on this possession. Very quick. That's when they're at their best. See Bjorklund, he broke deep. Purston breaks deep. He's open. He's got to step on Hibbert. Hibbert knocks it down. Oh, what a play by Morgan Hibbert. That's why they call him
Morgatron.
You got it.
He is incredible on those deep Ds. He can cover that ground. He's got those long legs, and when he sees that it's going up, he will just close on that defender. You think or he'll close on that receiver. You think you're open, he will catch up and get in the air there.
6'4", 14 years experience out of the University of British Columbia. Morgan Hibbert. Do you know he built robots in college?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty smart dude.
We have a lot of nerds on the Nighthawks.
Yeah, we have a lot of nerds up here in the press box. The Stags are looking to capitalize. Vancouver up by 1. Portland can tie the game. Looking for Bjorklund. Bjorklund in the end zone. Bjorklund scores. Portland answers right back.
We are tied again at 9s.
Even up at 9. I hear the pizza chant. I feel I'm being teased right now.
They've got Vancouver 8 on the scoreboard, but they didn't count that last point. I think they're going to get it up there, and you'll see Vancouver-Portland tied up at 9s.
Cody Bjorklund. What a season he's having. Had a great one his rookie year last year, the inaugural season of the MLU, but even better this year. Bjorklund led the Portland Stags in points. It was 9th in the MLU. 41 points this year. He had 4 goals, 2 assists. Last game they played against the Vancouver Nighthawks up in Vancouver at Thunderbird. And here he is again, his 2nd goal of the game. Bjorklund's tough to stay with. He's very smart. Did you know that Cody Bjorklund was cut from his track team?
Really?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
And that's why he went into Ultimate. We have athletes on Portland. And Chatha with the disc. Nerds and athletes.
Nighthawks moving up the field.
Matthew Barazan. Almost D'd up by Mark Burton. Nice play by Keen Knapp. That's in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Gagan Chatha. Vancouver turns it over again. Back-to-back turnovers by Vancouver as we're tied up at 9. Portland can take another lead. 6 minutes, 37 seconds. 9-9. Brad Stein and Chris Cannon bring in live Major League Ultimate action. The Western Conference Championship at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon.
Well, let's see if Vancouver can make a goal line stand here. They're very good at pushing the Stags back.
And they're going to huck this one down the field. Peter Woodside is there, but so is what a play. Woodside, he has such great length. He makes those plays consistently.
He does. He was at position there, too. Stags are playing better
McGinn
deep
looks
position.
for Cole, and that is incomplete. Cole, a diving layout effort, unanswered. Vancouver dodges a bullet.
They certainly do. Portland is great, is outmatching Vancouver right now in their positions on the deep, and that's why they're getting these points.
Vancouver's going deep and way out in front of everyone. In fact, the closest person was a Portland Stag. That was Dan Supnick, the closest one there, to Riley Minershagen. We're almost halfway through the 3rd. Fantastic matchup. Mark Burton, right sideline. Burton finds Grant Cole, leaps up at the 30 in Vancouver territory again. Minershagen right before the goal line. About a yard away. And goes back to Topher Davis. Let's see if Vancouver can hold them. Brendan Wong defensively. Look at the pressure put up by Andre Galitz. That's Ben McGinn.
Vancouver going back to that D.
Minor shaking. Oh, he can't get it. A mental lapse error for Portland. Do we have a call before that? No, it's a turnover and Nighthawks possession. The Nighthawks stand. That is imperative right now. Tied up. You don't want Portland taking the lead.
This is a low-scoring quarter. It started out with 2 quick strikes by Portland, and it's been low-scoring since.
Portland was in perfect position to score. Minor shaken. 1 yard before the goal line. Had to bring it back, kick it back out, and that cost them. Good defense.
And again, Portland is giving Vancouver the unders there, and they're just walking up with their lane cutters and waiting for that strike.
That's typical Portland defense. They do this most games, most of the time. That's how they play it. They're going to force you to make perfect passes. And there could be one in the end zone. Chaffa's going to reach up.
Oh, my
Chaffa's
goodness.
Got it.
What a
grab.
catch.
Nighthawks.
Back on top, 10-9. Gaganit Chaffa is really stepping up his game here. Very smart end zone throws. Very, very nice grabs. Really good positioning.
23 goals and 8 assists on the regular season. 31 points altogether.
Look at the looks on their faces. They are serious.
That one hurts Portland. We're going to go to our instant replay and take a look at the last point by Chaffa.
Not a very smart throw. Right into the coverage. But man,
yeah, Minor Shagan was there.
He was there, and that's Minor Shagan's not somebody you want to put that up against. We got a little Vancouver got a little lucky on that one. But Chaffa has those ups and he has that body position. Very visionary player.
10-9 Vancouver. 3 minutes left in the third. Morgatron with the pull.
Still amazed by Morgan's pulls with a fused right wrist.
Oh, Bjorklund broke down field. Couldn't get him.
Just a bit of an overthrow there.
Vancouver once again, and they're going to exchange turnovers. Vancouver just paid a favor back to the Portland Stags.
Those are identical turnovers. Just throwing it just a little bit outside the range of the receiver.
Bree Stroud handling the disc for Portland's going to go across field to Bjorklund. Bjorklund's got it. Oh, dangerous pass picked up by Peter Yu. Yu just keeps it in the end zone. Another score for Vancouver. That's Matthew Doyle.
Peter Yu with a beautiful D. Again, always one step ahead of the receiver with that great speed, that great presence, that really great way of looking at the offense, being in the right position at the right time, and then a nice little high-release backhand over the defender to a wide-open receiver.
Let's go back to our instant replay. Matthew Doyle wide open.
Watch Peter Yu here. Reading the play, getting ahead of his receiver, and then the high release before the defender can even get off the ground. Vancouver up 11-9.
Two-goal advantage for the Nighthawks. Morgatron with the pull. Stags had a couple leads, and that is it. Otherwise, the Nighthawks have answered right back. Both teams, careless turnovers. We've seen that pretty much in all 3 games of the regular season. And back in the end zone, that's Hankey, Chris Hancock. They call him Hankey. I interviewed him on my podcast. And another overthrow. A turnover. They were looking for Timmy Purston. Nighthawks have possession again. Let's see if they can capitalize. 2:47 to go. Up by 2.
And again, the Stags are giving them wide open unders there.
And they're going to take it every single time. That is knocked out of his hand. They're going to call a contact foul. Yeah, you saw it knocked out of Rumi Tejpar's hand.
Some great spirit there by Perston.
I don't think they're moving it up, but it still remains Vancouver possession. You see Morgan Hibbert, he wants the disc to be moved up 10 yards.
Well, if it's a contact foul, it should be. I don't know why they're not advancing it.
Yeah, you go high, I'll go low. No, you go the other one.
Let's go to instant replay. Let's see if this was a contact foul or a drop. See, Hibbert throws it. It was knocked out of his hands.
Looks like Perston
did. Saying. Perston knocked it out of his hands.
Perston seems to be aware that he did it too.
He made contact with the disc, not his hands. That's why they're not moving the disc up.
I see.
So it stays at the 50-yard line.
Vancouver has a chance here. They're up by 2, 11-9. They have a chance here to get that lead again.
Thank you for standing by, everybody. I'm going to split this crowd up down the middle. I want this side to yell go, and this side to yell stab. Go! Go!
Our scoreboard says 10-9. Correction. Vancouver up by 1. Break in action. We are down to 2 minutes left in the third quarter. The Stags are into the game. They have the crowd going. They don't have much continuity on offense. They haven't been able to get much rhythm. A lot of turnovers, a lot of careless play. Tejpar will handle the disc as soon as we get back to action. 9 years experience from McGill University.
2:20, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Scored 1 goal in the last game against the Portland Stags. And it is 11-9. We were correct. We have changed the clock. Little discrepancy. No harm, no foul.
It's a great thing about this sport. Even though we've introduced referees in the MLU, there is still a lot of good spirit between the players, a lot of discussion, even between the refs and between the players. It's one of the things that really sets the sport apart.
To keep up on all the news and events from around the league, like the MLU on Facebook at facebook.com/MLUltimate, and follow the league at twitter.com/MLUltimate. Get gear from your favorite team at MLUshop.com and use MLU Live 10 for a 10% discount. That's MLU Live 10 at MLUshop.com to save on shirts, hats, disc socks, gloves, and more. Much, much more. Brad Stein and Chris Cannon bringing live Major League Ultimate action. It is the Western Conference Championship at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon. 2-goal advantage for the Vancouver Nighthawks, 11-9, 2:15 left on the clock. We're just waiting after a slight break in action.
You know, this is exactly the kind of game we expected. Other than some of the unforced errors, this is the kind of high-flight, very exciting game we expected between these two teams. Closely matched, 3 games this season between them. The games went 2-1 in Portland's favor, but each game was decided by 2 or 3 points. And between the 3 games, there's only a 2-point difference in Portland's favor. We knew this would be a close one, and it is. It is exciting.
It started off exciting, especially if you're a Vancouver fan. 4 straight goals. But to make it even better, to make this game a little compelling, the Stags come back with 4 straight goals. And that's what we have been, back and forth. And the score is back to 10-9. We were corrected. We've gone both ways. The scorekeepers are saying 10-9. The field said one thing, but that is a correction. 10-9. That's what we have. We're going to go with that score. broken up. Oh, great D by Timmy Purston. They're going to call a penalty, an infraction. Some contact on Timmy Purston against Morgan Hibbert. The disc remains with the Vancouver Nighthawks, and they move up a few yards right at the 25-yard line in perfect striking distance. Up by 1, 10-9, under a minute and 50 to go. Morgantron finds a wide open man. That's Kevin Greer. They call him Muggs. Muggs kicks it back out to Morgantron. Morgantron kicks it to Muggs, and the Vancouver Nighthawks score and make this a 2-point game again.
Morgan with some really nice handling there. He's had a little bit of trouble, some throwaways early on, but he has really gotten control of the disc. Some really nice, sharp give and goes there for a score.
But don't forget, floating Eli Friedman in the very back. The Birdman in the back, high above the rest in the sky. I'm looking for some good signs. I saw one that said, "Who farted?" And a sign that said, "He did." That's pretty good.
Breakmark is an official merchandiser to the MLU and the exclusive provider of referee gear and headwear. Breakmark offers a wide variety of ultimate apparel. Shop online at breakmark.com. The pull from Vancouver. 140 to work the disc around. Plenty of time for the Portland Stags. Eli Friedman receives it. Been pretty quiet. Eli Friedman's had an outstanding season once again. Second in points with Portland, 39. He's 375 of 391. That's 96% if you're keeping score at home. 96% on his throws. When he throws the disc, it's usually complete. And that's Riley Minershagen, who's had plenty of time. Oh, a layout save made by Kenton. Now they're going to go up the field. The Stags are working it back to Minershagen. A little give and go. Good job by Burton in one hand. That has Dan Supnick alone in the end zone, and Supnick scores. And we cut the lead to 1 point.
Once again, Vancouver lets that deep out, and that is what's making the difference here. Stags are getting those easy scores to wide open deeps.
We're going to go to our instant replay and take a look at Dan Supnick's catch in the back of the end zone. Okay. .103 remaining in the third. 11-10, the Stags trail. Great back and forth game. And we expect the fourth quarter to be as exhilarating as the first three. Plenty of time for the Vancouver Nighthawks to operate. That's Keen Knapp receiving the pull. Downtown, Vancouver's going in the end zone looking for Brandon Wong, and it is knocked away by number 8, Topher Davis. Led Portland in D's with 14. He was third in the MLU, a rookie. Just makes a huge play. Davis out of his own end zone to Supnick, who scored the last goal for Portland. 30 seconds to score. You want to be very careful down here in the end zone. You don't want to turn it over. That's Woodside, and a timeout has been called by Portland with 21 seconds. Make it 20 to be exact. Portland trails by 1, 11-10, looking to tie it up. You're listening to the Major League Ultimate Broadcasting Network.
Years ago, I got out of the Marine Corps, played my first ever game of Ultimate Frisbee with my brother. And now, I find myself immersed in one of the fastest growing team sports in the nation. And here, at beautiful PPL Park in Philadelphia, on July 19th at 6:30 p.m., the largest showcase of our sport will happen with the MLU Championship game. You can get all tickets and information at MLUchampionship.com. to see the best in the world. I'll see you there.
Welcome back to Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, where the Stags look to tie the game up, trailing by 1, 11-10. Across the field, hammer is complete to Ben McGinn. 13 seconds. Portland has to move to disc. That's Topher Davis. 8 seconds, going to throw it back. Supnick is going to look deep, but not deep enough and broken up. Great play by Vancouver, and that's going to end the third quarter. We have a fantastic game as we head to the fourth quarter, 11-10 Vancouver. Show your support for the Portland Stags and get all the latest news by liking Facebook.com/Portland Stags and follow Twitter.com/Portland Stags. Be the first to get all the news on the Vancouver Nighthawks by liking the team at Facebook.com/Vancouver Nighthawks and follow Twitter.com/VC Nighthawks. Take a look at the signs down there. If we can get one of the cameras focused on Stoney the Stag, I'll reiterate them. One says Cody likes pizza. One says who farted. Excuse my language. Can't make out the little ones. I guess we are voting for the best sign. These are typical Portland fans. Some crazy dances by the man in a red hat. I don't think I want to see him on the disco floor. Nah. Take a pass. What do you think, Chris? You like the dance by our fans, Mr. Who Farted?
The only dancing I like is Mo Hawkins.
Okay.
Mo can shake it.
What are your thoughts for the fourth quarter? What does Vancouver need to do to sustain this lead?
They need to cover that deep. They're getting out of position on the deep players, and the Stags have had some terrific deep catches, some great throws right around the defender, right into the hands of a open receiver. So Vancouver has to control that deep. They've got to start pushing them back into the middle like they've been doing, not letting those wide open hucks out.
I guess we have our winner. It's Mr. Who Farted. That is a very intelligent sign. Look at the mascot of the VC Nighthawks. He looks so confused. He's like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Stoney the Stag loves it.
That's a little secret. That's a she in there.
That's a she. And so is Stoney the Stag. And she does not pass gas. Guarantee that. Back to live Major League Ultimate action. Brad and Chris bringing the action. 11-10 Nighthawks. We have 10 minutes to go in the game. Vancouver Nighthawks, coach under Andrew Lugsden. You talked to him before the game. What did he say to you?
Andrew is a very open coach. He's been with Vancouver's teams for a very, very long time. He's very well known, and he has no problem telling us exactly what the gameplay is. And they're all about one throw at a time, one score at a time, not thinking about anything but scoring the next point.
Nighthawks will receive the pull from Portland.
Scuber, is that the first one of the game?
No, that's the second.
Second?
Chaffa with the disc, defended by Riley Minor-Shagan. Underhill gets it out. Good flow on the opening possession by the Nighthawks. In and out of everyone's hands. That's Mark Leduc. They call him El Duque. 12 years experience, a score, and it's intercepted or defended. Eli Freeman was right there for Portland. 30 seconds have elapsed in the fourth quarter. Stags back on offense. They can tie the game on this possession. Amazing that they were down by 4 goals to start the game, and then they scored 4 straight. Just back and forth. That's what we expected.
Both teams are sticking to their systems.
Boy, that was a tough one. It looked like that was intended for Freeman, and I believe Topher Davis saved it. And back to Freeman, center field. Freeman goes to McGinn, or Grant Cole make that. And drop by Portland. Teams exchange turnover to open up the fourth quarter.
I really thought by now each team would have settled in and stop with those unforced errors, but that is really making the difference in this game.
And that one's broken up, but we will have an infraction. Riley Minor shaking. I believe that's his second call on contact. Stags move up 5 yards. John Norris at the left sideline, centers that. Good give and goes. Key Knapp. Great teamwork.
Again, Vancouver hitting those cutters underneath. That's their style.
And that was going to the end zone. Looks broken up, and it is broken up. Diving at the right sideline, there were 2 Stags. Portland back on the attack. Dan Supnick will handle the disc for the Stags. Right in his face is Kevin Underhill.
There you have to watch for that deep strike again.
McGinn is going deep. You said it. That's Eli Freeman back there. Freeman reaches up and catches it. It looked like it was good defense by El Duque.
Mark Leduc was on him for
Freeman,
the short.
Easy score to Eli Blackman. Eli to Eli. Ties the game back up at 11. What'd you think of the catch by Eli Freeman?
Easy. He was wide open once again.
No, Freeman, the first catch before
the first catch.
To set up on the deep throw.
I think it was going to be a give and go, but Duque had him on the inside and then released him deep. Or I don't think released him. He just got beat deep there on the speed. And Mark's not that tall, so he has to play position if he's going to catch those deeps, if he's going to D those deeps.
28 points on the season for El Duque. Not really known for his defense. Let's go to our instant replay on the last catch. And there's the reach by Eli Freeman over El Duque. And then he finds Eli Blackman. We went Eli to Eli. Look at that couple Vancouver Nighthawks in his face. Back to live game action. Chaffa with the disc. Vancouver going deep down the field. Oh, broke it up. Over Morgantron's hands and head. No call. And we do have an injury. That's going to be the call. No infraction. Morgan Hibbert wanted something.
There's definitely contact there. He was right there in Morgan's legs. But at least the Nighthawks can settle for the turnover.
That's Peter Woodside, number 5. The Stag who's shaken up. Portland back on the assault. Controlling the disc. 7:13 to go in the game. Flips that to Hancock. To Mark Burton. Stags look way more fluid in the second half. Spoke too soon. That's called the announcer's jinx. They're going down. There's Underhill in the end zone. Let's see if we have, are they saying goal or?
That was a nice backhand. Nice little bouncy backhand. Floating in the end zone to Sinclair.
Do we have contact? I think we have a contact foul before the score to Underhill. This will negate the point for Vancouver. If that's the call, and it is, it looks like it's Portland possession. No score. That's the official word on the fields.
Vancouver will retain possession of the disc.
Still tied up at 11. Little ref huddle. Let's see where this goes.
We're going to go to our instant replay on the last sequence on the call. It was a great backhand to Underhill right there. Waist level. It's negated by the penalty.
Surprisingly easy to throw a disc like that away. You get excited to see a wide open player in the end zone. But Takuya with a very nice bouncy backhand straight into the receiver.
Scuba.
And a scuba to Morgan.
Morgan at the 15-yard line going back. That's Alexander Davis. On defense, Davis hammers in the end zone. Dangerous. On the rebound, it's caught and a score. Good fortune strikes for the Vancouver Nighthawks. Kevin Greer. They call him Muggs. He's one of the rookies that you have to watch from the University of British Columbia. Had 2 assists last game against Portland a few weeks ago. Muggs. Let's go to our Insta replay on Muggs' latest score. Chatha was there. So was a couple Portland Stags.
That was some terrific.
One more time.
That was some terrific D by the Stags. That was a desperation hammer and some terrific D.
I believe that was Topher Davis. He just knocked it, instead of knocking it down to the ground, knocked it to a man. And Kevin Greer, fortunate for the Vancouver Nighthawks, was right there. The Stags will receive the pull, trailing by 1. 12-11, that's the score. 6.5 minutes to go. Dan Supnick handling the disc. Kenton is going downtown. He has Eli Friedman. Friedman drops it. Oh, my God, are you kidding me?
That is a horror show and a lucky break for Vancouver.
Friedman never drops those. He has 5 drops on the year, but not wide open hucks like that one. The Nighthawks take over.
That could be a game changer right there with only 6 minutes left in a 1-point game.
I agree, Chris. 12-11. Vancouver up. Championship game is being played in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of Rocky Balboa and great cheesesteaks. And boy, I am craving one. That is a low one. I don't know how he caught that. Tejpar is a timeout call by Vancouver. They call it a completion. What a marvelous, sensational play.
It was a great catch, but Morgan again with a shaky throw there, a little low.
He just saved Morgantron.
He did, and Morgan's all smiles, too.
He is. That red hair smiling.
Oh, Morgan's a team player. As much as he's one of the best players in the world, he's a team player, and he knows when his team has his back.
Ulti Photos is the official photography partner of Major League Ultimate. Ulti Photos features an elite core of ultimate photographers across the U.S. and Canada who are passionate about the sport of Ultimate. They are available to cover your Ultimate tournament and capture incredible photo memories for participants and fans. Check them out at www.ultiphotos.com and check out their complete MLU game coverage at mluimages.com. Back and forth we go at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, the City of the Roses. The Western Conference Championship. The winner moves on to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Takes on the winner of Boston and Washington, D.C. Chris Cannon and Brad Stein bringing live Major League Ultimate action. Did you watch any movies on the bus ride over here?
Yeah, we watched The Goonies. I'm embarrassed to admit.
No,
terrific
don't be
film.
embarrassed. It's made here by
Goonies?
us. Yes, it's a
terrific film.
Oregon film.
It's amazing to see old Rudy in there, and that's what we're chanting. He plays
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin plays the same role in every movie.
Yeah.
Rudy.
What about Josh Brolin? He's now a big-time actor, up for an award.
Huh?
And he played Brand. Vancouver back on the offensive. That's Chatha in Portland territory. Kicks that back out to Keen Knapp. Knapp known for his give and goes. You'll see a lot of them. And they're going to say a travel violation. That could be pivotal later in this game. Portland now double teamed at the left corner. Trying to trap Supnick. Catches the disc, and they're going deep. Almost broken up, but the Stags are there. I believe it's Peter Woodside. It is Peter Woodside. Portland got away with one. Grant Cole looks, finds Topher Davis.
You see a hammer here.
In the end zone, Ben McGinn. Yes, sirree.
My goodness.
The Portland Stags answer. This is what you called for at the beginning of the game, Chris. You wanted to see back and forth, a lot of action, the crowd into it. You got what you wished for.
It is. I'm surprised it's not a higher scoring game, but once again, it's those turnovers, those unforced errors.
It is.
Making a difference in this game.
It's the turnovers and the movie Goonies. You remember the bottom of the well, they made a wish?
It is.
See, you made a wish for a great game, and you got it.
We did. I want to see
Chris
somebody
Cannon.
do the truffle shuffle out there. I want to see one of the Nighthawks score and do a touchdown dance, the truffle shuffle.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to be me, Mr. Cannon. I don't want my abs of steel showing.
I don't think it's physically possible to do the truffle shuffle if you've got abs of steel.
That is true. Do you know that kid who played Chunk, the truffle shuffle,
Chunk.
is lean and skinny like you couldn't believe.
Is he?
$140. Not kidding.
Really?
Met him 4 years ago.
Has he done any movies since then? I don't remember.
No, he's a lawyer.
Else.
He's an entertainment lawyer in
Is he
Hollywood.
really?
Yes, he is.
A lot of talent came out of that movie. There was
Absolutely.
a lot of actors that grew up.
Except for Corey Feldman, excuse me. Vancouver back on offense.
He had his 15 minutes.
A little bit more than that. He was Mr. 80s. Underhill controls the disc for the Nighthawks. Back to Morgatron. He has played both ways. That's called Iron Man Ultimate.
He has. You can see he holds it just with both hands, and he can throw it with either hand. He's a serious threat as a thrower, in addition as a big D.
Chath at the sideline being smothered by Eli Freeman. I can't believe Eli dropped that one pass. Underhill going to reach up. He grabs that as Vancouver works it from right to left. Under 4 minutes to go. Morgatron breaks. That's hanging up in the air. Timmy Purston's back there. Purston, they're going to say out of bounds. Purston mistimed his jump. Morgatron caught it, but he was out of bounds. Outstanding call by the officials.
Was out of bounds. Just a weak throw. A little bit too much, and that's a great matchup. Purston and Morgan. See those two sky for a disc is a beautiful thing.
It sure is. I feel like I have to pay for admission, but I don't have to because I'm an announcer. We're going to go to our instant replay on the last no score by Megatron and Timmy Purston battling. See, watch Timmy Purston go up. I mean, he's a fast young man.
Yes, Morgan gets away with a little bit of a push there as well.
Good eyes. Stags back on the attack. Control possession. Referee delays. They're getting together. I think they're enjoying the music. They want to chit-chat a little bit. $12-12. Even. Fourth quarter. 3:35 remaining in the game. Eli Freeman handling the disc for the Portland Stags. When you complete 96 of your passes, you want that man to have the disc in his hands.
He's certainly getting a lot of play today. A lot of give and goes between the handlers. That's their style.
That was dangerous by Bree Strout. Ben McGinn, another good catches. And Timmy Purston back in the flow of things.
Purston is a threat all around. Even being away for 6 weeks, he comes back and he's handling. He's getting deep.
Burton, the former Rainmaker, had a pretty good season. Not as good as last year where he was one of the tops in the Western Conference. And Strout gets contacted, and we will have an infraction.
There's a 10-yard penalty. 15 yards according to Portland. All right, Strout. They're pushing him back. He'll go tell you stop him.
A flick back to center field. That's Eli Freeman. And
again, Vancouver controlling those lane cutters and trying to keep it.
Morgatron picks it off.
Trying to keep it between the handlers.
Call before that. Negate another contact foul. Negates Morgatron's interception in D.
Does indeed.
That's a huge break for the Stags, and that's what they needed. Up or even at 12, 2.5 minutes to go. Every point right now is critical.
It is. The Stags have control of the disc with only 2.5 minutes. They just need to control the time, get the score.
And this one's hovering in the air. McGinn reaches up and makes a wonderful play. You're not going to see that in the stat line, but that could have been fatal for Portland. Bree Stroud open right around the 36. And Portland cannot get deep. Great coverage by Vancouver. Let's see how long it's going to hold up. Fatigue should play a part in this game eventually. Topher Davis now to 23. Davis going in zone. Looks like Purston's there, and he got it.
Once again, Vancouver letting up on the deep. Wide open for a reception. Purston in the end zone. Portland up by 1.
Retake the lead, 13-12, 1:52 remaining in the match. Want to know what Ultimate players do when they're not on the field? Huh, Mr. Cannon? They play spike ball.
Tell me about it.
It's a little bit like volleyball, a little bit Foursquare, but a whole lot of awesomeness. Get $10 off normal retail online using promo code MLUROCKS1 at spikeball.com. Let's go back to our instant replay on the last score. As Topher Davis controls the disc, a backhand to the left part of the end zone, and Purston scores again, and he's very happy.
I don't know about you, but you know what I want to see right now? Overtime.
Oh, do you?
I could do another 10 minutes of this.
Certainly. Why not? Wong has the disc. As you can see, the pressure amplified defensively by the Stags. And the Nighthawks have a man on the hook in the end zone. Back goes the Stag. What a play by Matthew Bearzan. Ties it back up at 13.
That is a difference maker. If he hadn't gotten that, Portland would have control of the disc with only a minute and a half left.
That would have been probably the
up
match.
By 1. That probably would have been the game here.
Bearzan, that is clutch.
Now the question here is, can Vancouver control that deep, keep it downfield with the handlers, with the Stags handlers, run out the clock? Or better, get the D and score.
We're going to go to instant replay on Matthew Bearzan's tying score. 5 years experience, played at the University of British Columbia, known as a shutdown defender, but boy, does he reach up and make a clutch play. 28 points on the regular season, and what I love is he was 128 for 140 on his passes.
A number of these players have come out of the University of British Columbia. It is a powerhouse team.
The Stags will have the disc, a fantastic pull by Morgan Hibbert. Bree Stroud, and you're going to watch the Stags. They will move the disc as quickly as possible. Friedman give and go again with Cody Bjorklund playing small ball. Small disc, we call it. Smart frisbee. Camden Allison Hall, haven't heard his name much in the second half. Allison Hall is one of those athletic freaks that you really need to wake up your Portland. You want him engaged. Crossfield, Eli goes to Kenton. Back to Norden. 1 minute left on the clock. Oh, and that is going to be intercepted by Vancouver. 55 seconds. They're going to look to score. Oh, boy. Critical, and yes, a great timeout called by Andrew Lugsden and the Vancouver Nighthawks.
Definitely a very smart timeout. I don't know if Lugsden called from the sideline or if Vancouver called on the field. Kevin Greer there with the disc on the sideline, but that is a crucial call, and this is the game. 52 seconds left, high score. Vancouver has it right outside their own end zone. I'm sorry, right outside the opponent's end zone.
Vancouver won the last game against the Portland Stags up at Thunderbird, 20-18, and Portland won the first two. First one was opening game. I called the game with the vice president, Mr. Nick Darling. That was in Portland, or actually in Camas, Washington. The last two were in Vancouver, and here's the fourth game.
first season, Vancouver's bugaboo was not being able to close out the games. And earlier this season, they had trouble with that, but lately they have really been able to put it on at the end of the game and pull it out. In that last win over the Stags closed it out very closely at the end, brought it up to a tie, but Vancouver was able to pull it out at the end. We'll see if they can do it here.
The official disc of the MLU is the Innova Pulsar. Designed in cooperation with players and staff of the MLU, the new Pulsar is the perfect disc for the pro game. Get your Pulsar today at shop.mlultimate.com or visit innovadiscs.com for a look at the rest of their product line, including world-class disc golf gear.
And Vancouver
scores just like that.
Another beautiful, bouncy backhand to an open receiver.
But they left 49 seconds on the clock for the Portland Stags. Could the Stags play for overtime? We'll find out. Vancouver up by 1, 14-13.
Well, here's the question. This is where it's all on the line here with Vancouver. If they can control that deep, they've done a terrific job of keeping the cutters from the Stags away from the disc, forcing the Stags to go back and forth horizontally across the field with their handlers, and then looking for that deep shot. Early in the game, Vancouver managed that deep very well, but they've let up since then and let in a lot of easy points to wide open receivers. Let's see how they pull out the last 49 seconds here.
Portland struggled in the first half scoring before that onslaught of 4 straight goals. And then we've had back and forth. We're going to go to our instant replay and watch more of this back and forth game, this tantalizing game at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon.
Look at that low, bouncy backhand, putting back up in the air, floating right in front of the receivers.
Norton receives it for Portland. They're going to move fast. Bree Strout controls the disc, 41 seconds. No hurry for the Stags. They're in perfect control and for the pace of this game. Here's Cody Bjorklund. Nice little give and go to Strout. They're going to look for the Huck, and they're going Huck. That's Eli. Is that to Freeman? Freeman is not there, and that could be the game. 25 seconds left on the clock. I don't know where Bree Strout was going with the disc. He had 2 Stags, but it wasn't close. Vancouver takes over. All they do is play keep away, something Portland has done for 8 games during the regular season. Vancouver might be heading to Philly. A hammer across the field. Uh-oh. Nice catch by Peter
All he has to do is hold on to it now.
That's going to do it. Vancouver Nighthawks have won the Western Conference. The final score, 14-13. Chris, what are your thoughts? 14-13, Vancouver pulled it off on the road. Long trip from Canada.
Terrific game by both teams. They were both in it to win it. You could tell. I know there were a lot of unforced errors, but that's just because both teams were going for it all. And this really shows Vancouver's maturity, how they've grown over the season, particularly from last season where they couldn't close out games. They had a lot of issues gelling as a team. But this season, they started out ranked number 3, and they bounced up and down in the rankings. I believe they were as low as number 7 at one point when they were 2 and 3. Now they come into here to the 2nd seed and pull it out against a terrific Stags team that played an amazing game. This is definitely one of the best games of the season that I've seen.
The Portland Stags 1-9 last year. This year 8-2. Best record in the Western Conference. Gave everything they had in this game and come up 1 goal shy of representing the Western Conference. But what can you say? The Portland Stags had a marvelous season.
They did, and congratulations to them going from that record last year to a terrific record this year. Really clamping down, really, again, gelling as a team, just like the Nighthawks, a younger team, a more patient team, handling the disc well, not throwing it away, not so many errors. Again, this game, there were a lot of unforced errors, but once again, it's because both teams wanted it and they were willing to put it all on the line.
Keenan Knapp did a great job, the head coaches for Portland. They stressed system a la Bill Belichick from the New England Patriots, the head coach in the National Football League. They said it doesn't matter. Timmy Person's going to miss most of the season. We're going to plug any player in as long as they learn the system. And every one of these Portland Stags have nothing to be upset about. They all committed to the system, committed to each other, moved the disc around so fluidly the whole year. The Hucks, deep threats, playing the D, coming back from a 4-0 deficit to start the game. Just a wonderful job, and you have to tip your hats off to the Portland Stags.
Really
great
do.
season.
You
Second
really
place
do.
in the West.
Fantastic team, and they're going to be back with a vengeance next year. And I don't know if you noticed it, but one of my favorite parts of the game is no matter who wins, right after the end of the game, both teams, after they slap hands, they go to the sidelines, they wave to the fans, and they get up in the stands and they thank the fans. Both of these teams, whenever we have Portland up in Vancouver, they're terrific sportsmen. They always come up, talk to the fans, thank them for their presence. The fans are a huge part of this game, and that's just going to grow over the years.
Once again, your final score at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon. The Vancouver Nighthawks 14 and the Portland Stags 13. Brad Stein and Chris Cannon saying goodbye from Lincoln High School.
Thanks for having me down.
My pleasure. Don't forget to check, $50.
To answer your earlier question, I might go to Philadelphia now.
That makes sense to say that. But when you're throwing, the first one